Namaste, angels. This will be our weekly general reading for the period of Sunday, May 6th through Saturday, May 12th. I'm recording it extra early. I haven't even uploaded my daily for today to my Patreon subscribers. Today is May 1st, the Feast of St. Joseph, the Worker. And maybe that's why. Maybe he's making me work on this today. I don't know. But here we are. So let's get into it. I don't expect this portion to even be that long because I can't do the sky this week because astronomy.com doesn't post that to their site until at least Friday afternoon either. So I don't have that. I'll tell you, let's see, planetary this week. What I say, this week goes through the 12th. There's nothing really. The week during which I'm recording it, like I said, today's the 1st. So on the 3rd, Mercury is finally completely gone, even out of its, shadow of its retrograde zone. Really done with that energy. But other than that, that's it. Tomorrow, the 2nd, is the Neptune biquintal to the true node, the North Node, Leo. That's tomorrow. So yeah, nothing next week until Sunday, the 13th. So the following week's reading, actually. And then there's actually some other stuff on the 13th. It is the first viewing of or apparition of Our Lady of Fatima on the 13th, and Mercury into Taurus. I got oxen on the brain today too from something else, some other stuff. Oh, it's Jerusalem Day, and maybe that's it. That might be it. All right. In any case, let's get into what's going on this week, because none of that had anything to do with this week. This week, on Tuesday, it is the feast day of Our Lady of Luján, patroness of Argentina. And Thursday, the 10th, May 10th, is the feast day of the Ascension of the Lord. So, of course, there, the Lord, or quote unquote, the Lord refers to Jesus the Christ. This is the Christian calendar. I understand that he may not be everybody's Lord. That's why I'm throwing that out there. I would hope, but no judgment if it's not, that he was at least an ascended master in your life. If you are on this journey, that you recognize the importance of the Christ consciousness. Remember, Christ was a title. It means that he was anointed. He was Christed. He was anointed. That wasn't his name, right? He was Jesus of Nazareth who was anointed, basically. So I hope that you recognize the anointing and the importance of respect and reverence for beings higher than ourselves on this journey. All right, so in any case, whether you do or not, let's get going. I'm going to talk about Our Lady of Luján. So before I do that, because a couple of things that some of you who've been watching me for a long time sort of come up in this summary, I'll call it, of what Our Lady of Luján is about, how the feast day came to be established and why. Some of it will be familiar to you as sort of connected to me and who I revealed to be my original soul probably about a month or two after I had been doing this. My first video, I was first guided, told, however you want to put it, to post a video, do a video, a reading on YouTube on May 10th, 2016. And probably around by April, I had been told also to reveal who my original soul was. And at that time and consistently since, I have pointed out, dates. And I at that time I gave numbers. I said, this is why. Here's this number that's connected to this. And, you can look this up. Here's this historical fact that's connected to that. And here's how they're connected to me. And I've done that since. But I have ceased to, like once I told you, I didn't have to keep telling you. So I understand I have new subscribers, all the time. And hello, new subscribers, welcome and thank you. Who weren't here for those stories and don't know. And I'm not like, it's hard to explain, but I'm not like hung up on it because I'm me now. In this lifetime, I'm me. But, there was an importance to explain how I came to be me in this capacity at the time. So some of you, again, will hear some familiar things in this little passage. Our Lady of Lujan, and this is from CatholicSaints.info. The Virgin is a 2-foot tall terracotta statue of Our Lady. It was made in Brazil and sent to Argentina in May of 1630. So there's the first date. 1630 has the numbers 1, 6, and 3 in it, or 6, 1, and 3, which is 613, which is one of the first dates I gave you, and it's actually my birthday. So we will continue to see it, as well as 6s, which are also connected to Mary. Its original appearance seemed inspired by Murillo's Immaculates in 1887, which actually equals 6, again associated with Mary. To preserve and protect it, the image was given to a solid silver covering. It had usually been clothed with a white robe and a sky blue cloak, the colors of the Argentinian flag. Only the dark oval face with big blue eyes and the hands folded in prayer were now visible. Tradition says that an ox-drawn wagon. Maybe I should pause there for a second. So some of you guys know, again, if you're familiar with me, you've been watching me for a while, some of you, even my Facebook friends, instead of saying, XOXO, I always say OX. And you know that I have a picture in my featured pictures on Facebook of the clouds in the form of the word ox, or an O and an X in my featured photos. And you've seen this. It's a piece of starlight. Now, this stuff is all like, circumstantial, and you can believe a coincidence if you like. I don't believe in coincidences, but there's not something that I could make. So it's circumstantial at worst, and definitely evidentiary otherwise. There's the O and the X. Now these stones normally only form simply in an X. What are the chances of one not only forming with an O and an X, but it ending up in my hands? We can ask ourselves. In any case, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about Storolite in a minute too. That could be a point to that. So getting back to ox and oxen, this statue of Mary was being taken from Buenos Aires to Santiago del Estero, okay, in an ox-drawn wagon. But the animals stopped at the Lujan River and refused to cross. Through trial and error, the gentlemen who were trying to get the oxen to move discovered that as long as the box that contained the Virgin was in the wagon, they would not. If they removed it, then the ox would begin to walk away. So after testing this several times, they came to realize that Our Lady wanted to stay in Lujan. And so she is there today. The image was first taken to a nearby home of a gentleman named Don Rosendo. He built a primitive chapel in which to house it, which lasted 40 years. Now 40, important number in the biblical sense too. The number 40 comes up. Oh, I forget I used to know how many times. It's escaping me at the moment. But of course, 4 equals 11 equals 13. How you want to look at it. Again, 13 associated with Mary, as is 6. And as is the whole number 613, which equals 19, which is associated with the Father. A bigger shrine was completed in the year 1685. So you have a 713 or a 20 or a 2 or an 11. And 713 being another day where there would have been an apparition at Fatima, beginning in the year 1917, May 13th, and every 13th thereafter, with the biggest one being on June 13th, where she had everybody come out to see. Through October was an apparition of Mary at Fatima. But today we're doing Lujan. So let me get back to this. A new sanctuary went on to be built in the 19th century. The image was crowned in the way that they would prepare a saint, like as if to canonize it, in the year 1887, which again equals 6. And then in 1930, which equals 13 or 4 or 11, 11, or 40, like the 40 years, Pope Pius XII gave the sanctuary the title Basilica, and it is there ever since. Our Lady of Lujan is the patron saint of Argentina, and additionally and specifically, oh, and by the way, she was proclaimed the patron saint of Argentina in September, on the 8th specifically, in the year 1930, which again equals 13, by Pope Pius XI. She is also the patron of Argentinian military chaplains, specifically of Paraguay and of Uruguay. And then there's additional information on her if you want to check out CatholicSaints.info or anywhere else. You can just, Google Our Lady of Lujan or the feast day of Our Lady of Lujan, Lujan. And then I said on Thursday the 10th, we have the Feast of the Ascension. So let's talk about that for a minute from wikipedia.org. The Feast of the Ascension of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, also known as Holy Thursday, Ascension Day, or Ascension Thursday. That's what I grew up calling it, Ascension Thursday. It commemorates the Christian belief of the bodily ascension of Jesus into heaven. It is one of the most celebrated feasts universally of all Christian churches, ranking with the feast of the Passion, of Easter, and of the Pentecost. Ascension Day is traditionally celebrated on a Thursday, the 40th, so there's that number 40 again, day of Easter, following the accounts given in Mark 16:19, Luke 24:51, and Acts 1:2. And those are all 6s, by the way, right? They were popping out 6s in my head as I was trying to read. Although some Christian denominations have moved the observance into Sunday, so some, I don't know, it's not saying which sects of Christianity particularly, but some will apparently be celebrating on Sunday instead. The observance of this feast is of great antiquity. It seems to hint at the celebration, or there seems to be a hint of the celebration beginning in the 4th century. St. Augustine says that it is the apostolic origin, and he speaks of it in a way that shows that it was the universal observance of the church long before his time. Frequent mention of it is made in the writings of St. John, St. Gregory of Nyssa, Nyssa, and in the Constitution of Apostles. The pilgrimage of Aetheria speaks of the vigil of this feast and the feast itself as they were kept in the church built over the grotto in Bethlehem, in which Christ is traditionally regarded as having been born. It may be that prior to the 5th century, the fact narrated in the Gospels was commemorated in conjunction with the feast of Easter or Pentecost. Some believe that the much disputed 43rd decree of the Synod of Elvira, condemning the practice of observing a feast on the 40th day after Easter and neglecting to keep the Pentecost on the 50th day, implies that the proper usage of the time was to commemorate the ascension along with the Pentecost, representations of the mystery are found in diptychs. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Diptychs and frescoes, Frescoes. So let me tell you what those even are. A diptych is an object with two flat plates attached at a hinge. For example, the standard notebook and school exercise book of the ancient world was a diptych consisting of a pair of such plates that contained a recessed space filled with wax. Writing was accomplished by scratching. Frescoes is a technique of mural painting executed upon freshly laid or wet lime plaster. Water is used as the vehicle for dry powder pigment to merge with the plaster, and with the setting of the plaster, the painting becomes an integral part of the wall. The word fresco is derived from the Italian. So this is apparently how they used to record it and how it came to be celebrated today. And if you go on, it tells you how it's celebrated in the West and how it's celebrated in the East and how it's celebrated in the Orthodox, and how it was observed. And you can read that at www.wikipedia.org. So starlight stone, while I'm thinking about it, it is a stone from Brazil. Speaking of Brazil, I just spoke about Brazil and Argentina. Brazil, it can be found here in the United States, as far as I recall. Russia, Australia, Switzerland, I think. I have a book that some of you guys may be interested to in getting. I don't know where it is right now. It's by Judy Hall. It's about gemstones and crystals and stuff like that. I thought that I could pull it out real quick and show you the title and the author's name for sure. In any case, I think the author of that particular book that I'm trying to think of, I believe it is Judy Hall, is absolutely an expert at crystals. I read some stuff about soulmates and whatnot in the book that was not accurate as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know about other areas, but as far as crystals, I feel like the person who wrote the book that I'm looking for knows her stuff. But in any case, I will go back to my memory. So Stauro, Stauro, means cross in Greek, or at least it did. I believe it still does. I don't speak Greek though. I just know about the stone. And so these often are in the shape of a cross, like the crucifix. You see mine is in the shape again of an X. If we chip away this rock, it will just be the storolite. The X and the O will be all that remains. You can see it goes all the way through the rock. So we'd have to like chisel this from around it. They're known as fairy stones or fairy crosses. That's what it's called. And the reason is they're said to have formed upon the fairies learning of Christ's death and them crying. The storolite was formed of fairy tears at hearing that news of the crucifixion. They're good for grounding, and if you want to quit like habits. I kept mine near me like when I was quitting smoking, and it worked. Or something worked, or my faith, whatever worked in combination with these things. They say that they're good with connecting of things of the quote unquote natural world. So animals and little sprites and things like that would be what you would use them to connect with. And I guess that's it for this week. I went over the planets, right? And the Christian and Hebrew calendars. And then I went off on a tangent about starlight. Okay, so here we are. Going to the dice. I'm beginning with massage. Email. Party. Spirit says forget it. Still party. And sex. Glad I read that before party, or else it would have been sex party. Which, no judgment if you're into sex party. I'm just glad I didn't read it that way. Going to the cards, the Angel Tarot, I'm going to begin with the Two of Fire this week. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. Of course, the Two of Fire, also the Divine Union or quote-unquote twin flame card of the Tarot. And opening to Justice. We got another big 11 here and an 8 for Karma, maybe. Justice represents the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. Can be another air sign too, or anybody either likened to the traits and attributes of an air sign, or experiencing a situation where they are receiving their just due, maybe by way of a partnership. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. Two of Fire. And 13. Speaking of 13, all those times are 4 or 11, 11. Release or death in the tarot. The end of a phase or situation. Spiritual transformation. It's time to move on. Release or death represents the sign of Scorpio. Two of Fire. Opposite the Two of Fire, death can be a relationship, a partnership of some sort, transforming into another. Like, it's not going to exist the way it did before. It's moving into a new phase. Maybe that phase is commitment, opening now to unity, or the Hierophant, Major Arcana card number 5, which can definitely be about commitment, marriage even, higher institutions, with whom and what we surround ourselves, like making adjustments to our environment, making sure that we're surrounded by, you know, things, people, places, and things that are of our vibration or higher, and from, you know, which we can learn something. Traditional viewpoints or methods. Spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Can be about college and stuff too, or higher institutions. Maybe signing contracts or something. Maybe with regard to the partnership, there's a contract. Opening to the King of Fire, who's motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. The King of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Maybe even a Scorpio, like death. As Scorpio and Aries are co-ruled by Mars, the red planet. Also, fellow fire sign Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter currently in Scorpio. So that explains that. The King of Fire is also a representation in the tarot of the Divine Masculine. So one half of this too. And opening to the Three of Water, a celebration, a wedding or a graduation or a birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. So this can be associated with the Two of Fire opposite the Hierophant. Again, there could have been a wedding or a graduation for sure with those cards together. Three of Water also about the need to be more social, get out, spend time around friends. Sometimes for me, it's about reconciliation with a friend that you hadn't seen in a while or something, or some other sort of partner. And opening to life experience or the Tower, Major Arcana card number 16, the Tower in the tarot. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. Again, opposite the Two of Fire, this would be something that shakes up this partnership, shakes up one's life. And having seen the Hierophant, it can be about, and with this being the Tower can be about an actual structure, a building, a home. Maybe somebody's moving in together, and that's what's all of a sudden different, you know. Going into some kind of business together, acquiring an asset together, a home, a business, or, you know, just a new relationship. And it's just so worthwhile and valuable. It's such an asset, the relationship itself. that it's represented here by the Ace of Earth. The inflow of abundance, a powerful, a promising rather, business venture, and important documents or contracts are all possible. So again, opposite the Two of Fire, you can apply that as you will. Two of Fire, go one more. It's the Two of Water. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. That can also be what we're celebrating. Now, here's your 1111, or your 4, or your 13. Two of Water, cut. And it's the Sun, 19. I think it's funny that I was moved to talk to you guys at random about those numbers and those dates. And here they all are, right? Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. So the Sun is about things working out well. It can also be about good health for me. Somebody making it through a situation. If you're undergoing testing, medical testing, and MRI and X-ray, that the Sun can show up, and again, the outcome will be positive. It can also be sometimes about children for me, the Sun. Again, something good going on with the children, happy news. The Sun represents the sign of Sagittarius, but can also be any fire sign, particularly Leo for me, other than Sagittarius, because Earth's star, the Sun, rules the sign of Leo. Overall energy this week is the Two of Earth. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. Some of us may be working too hard. Again, to speak of today's feast day, St. Joseph, the worker. Some of us may be working too hard, laboring, maybe more than one job, or, more hours than we should. And maybe that's why the Three of Water showed up before. We need to be more social, like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, Jill a dull girl. We got to get out there and spend some time with friends too. Being celebratory. If you got a party to go to, put in to get those hours off or that day off so you can actually attend. Party showed up in the dice, and then we had the Three of Water showing up at, opposite the Hierophant. There could be a wedding or something to which you're invited. Go. Okay. For others, this is about balance, right? The need to restore balance to our lives. We can also be connected to the work. Like, again, all work and no play, no good. We need to have time for a social life, and work, career, and home life. Our mate, our children, our family, and, what we need to do to make a living, or school, or whatever else it is. And then there's deja vu from hell. It's going to also be about the need to make a decision. Squeeze that in there. And then there's deja vu from hell. For me, it's like going around in a circle and continuing to come back to the same spot of like, why are we here again? Like, why can't we get past this area, this juncture? I just feel like we keep going around and getting back here again. So the work that's going in, we're not making any real progress. And we got to figure out what that's about. Like repeating your mistakes and things like that. I connect with the Two of Coins. And we got two cards that want to come out for the middle. I don't know what that's about, but we'll find out. Counting the masculine, the Six of Water. Here goes the six, all the numbers I mentioned showing up. Memories from your history or childhood. Issues regarding children and romanticizing the past. Six of Water, can definitely be about children or about you as a child. And reconciling again with old friends or partner. It's also a past life relationship or soulmate card. Surrounded by the two of air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. The two of air is a card of non-action. It's like there's a decision that needs to be made. It's important that one is made, but right now we're not doing anything. You know, it's like when you hope if you don't open your bills, then they'll go away and you won't have to pay them. You know, we know that doesn't work. So there may be a decision that has to be made with regard to a child or a relationship, or situation, circumstance from your past, or with a soulmate or something. And there's plenty of choices and options. That's why the decision is so hard to make, apparently. Also, the masculine, like going over different scenarios in his head is what this is evidence of. The Seven of Water also an indicator that a decision needs to be made. But this can be, again, and especially in this position here with the subconscious, it's like thought, analyzing or dreaming and fantasizing and what am I going to do, all of that stuff. Seven of Water, although not a court card, tends to represent the planet Neptune and the sign of Pisces for me, which it rules, because Neptune and Pisces are those dreamy, sometimes foggy, you know, head in the clouds energies. A complex decision. The need to do research. Stop procrastinating. Crowning the feminine. It is balance. Major Arcana card number 14, or temperance in the traditional tarot, which also represents the sign of Sagittarius. But for me, can also be about Aquarius. This being here on the card in the Rider-Waite too. It's an angel on the front stepping in water with a vessel in their hand that's spilling out water, just like it is here. That's the water bearer. So that it should be Aquarius, but it's not in the tarot. It is Sagittarius, or the fire signs. The need for balance and moderation, which fits with our overall energy. The Two of Earth. Right? That can also be about balance. Also, cooperation and compromise. We got to come to a meeting of the minds. Wait for perfect timing. So maybe it's logical to not act yet. Maybe we should pause until we have some more information, if that's possible, or we've done some more thinking. The Temperance card for me is also very much about healing. And as I say that, there goes some ambulances. Sirens, Archangel Raphael, his sirens. Feminine is surrounded by the Queen of Air, who's independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, or somebody likened to those traits or attributes. In the feminine subconscious, it's the Three of Earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. The Three of Earth is about abundance that we have earned. It's coming to us because we earned it. We put the effort in to create it. It's not coming to us just out of the blue or because somebody wants to be nice. They're not doing you a favor by giving you this abundance. You know, it can also be connected to ascension and elevation, because it's about raise and promotion. So the universe can do this too, right? They can promote us. They can raise us. And then we should see the effects of that down here too, because as above, so below. So it can translate into an actual raise at your job, or promotion at your job, some sort of recognition or accolade in whatever it is you do, even if you are self-employed. More customers, more subscribers, you know, if you're on YouTube or something like me, for example. As it relates to relationships of whatever kind, of course, as a three, it can also have something to do with a party of three, perhaps a love triangle. Crowning, it's the Five of Water. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation and crying over spilled milk. Today we have 2 5s sitting here next to each other, because Major Arcana card balance number 14 equals 5 too. The Five of Water, and maybe this is in part why we need healing, at least the feminine, is about not counting our blessings. It's a very pessimistic, oh, woe is me kind of energy. And it's really pretty obnoxious because it is about someone who does have blessings and gifts surrounding them, but they're worried about what they don't have. So they're very inappreciative. At the root, the 10 of water. So one of the things that they may have, for example, is, friends and family that love them and want to surround them. And, they're worried about something else. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, and you have trustworthy relationships. At the heart of the matter, we got 2 again. I was just thinking about the Hermit. I know that sounds bizarre, but I was thinking that this is when I said the party of 3 and maybe a love triangle, I said it's that Virgo again, the Hermit. I said in my head, and here he is. He sits here with the 10 of earth. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. Again, major arcana card, the Hermit is about, is a Virgo or maybe another earth sign, and is about enlightenment, right? Coming into some sort of understanding, enlightenment, clarity, or helping another to do so, to grow spiritually or in knowledge. Hermit can be like a professor or a teacher, as it relates to maybe like the Hierophant that we saw. Sitting here atop the 10 of earth, somebody may learn something about their family, especially not just atop the 10 of, not just coupled with the 10 of earth, but sitting above the 10 of water and crossing the 6 of water, which can have, again, something to do with childhood or a child. Somebody may come into some sort of knowledge about their family. It may be something that they would have preferred not come out, or, that they prefer a different outcome, but it's not a horrible outcome. Like, you still have to be appreciative of what you have. Let's say, for example, and this might be one of the most drastic, but a happy family. The father knows he may not be the biological father, but they're a happy family nonetheless. They live that way. And then, we find out it's not. Then we still got to be thankful, again, that we do have this happy family, and we can continue living and loving each other the way we always have. We just have this new information. So maybe there's a decision whether or not to tell something. This can be happening to the masculine. He may discover something about his own family, his own father, his own mother. There can be thoughts of whether or not to share something. That's why there's all these options. Do I say something? Do I not say something about this situation? Whatever the situation is. There can be something that leads to some sort of asset, family asset, or a secret surrounding some sort of family asset that is forthcoming, and decision that has to be made, maybe documents that have to be signed in that regard. Let's further clarify these, beginning with the 8 of Autumn from the Animal Tarot. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school. So that could be connected to the Hierophant too, and the Enlightenment. It doesn't have to be an actual school building. The Hermit, rather, but the Hierophant too, yes. It doesn't have to be a school building. You can learn, the School of Hard Knocks, the School of Life. You could be taking a seminar. You could be conducting research. Do your best work. And the law of attraction, this is the important part, whether it's with regard to actual school or work or labor at all. It could be relationship, putting your effort into a relationship. Whatever it is, the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and advancement in that area if you put in the effort, and positive thought too. And opening to the 9 of Summer. Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's to come. So not worrying again about what we don't have or what's been lost, what's gone forever. Instead of that, what we do have, and how we'll continue to be blessed, because we know that we are. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. So that's what I look forward to. Eight of Autumn. And the King of Summer, who's warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful. He's also a Pisces, maybe, like I felt here. Scorpio or Cancer, or somebody likened to those traits or attributes, a trustworthy person or relationship enters your life, you may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. So this is a genuine person when they come into your life, or an energy that is genuinely loving and compassionate. Actually thinking about Pisces, again, when I picked up that Two of Earth, underneath it was is the moon, upside down though. But this could be the truth coming out. We also saw the sun. The sun and the moon in the same spread, so to speak, at least, tends to indicate that things that have been done in the dark will come to light. So there could definitely be something coming, some sort of a decision as to whether or not to share some news or something here. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get closer to exactly what when I feel like finish shuffling this other deck, but I got to show you this now. Underneath that moon, it's another 5, the 5 of air. So this one we have where, you know, something's gone awry and we're not being, you know, we've lost something, or we have that feeling of loss, even though we have lost nothing, and we still are very much blessed. And it's that feeling of being inappreciative. This is 5 sitting next to it is indicative of healing that's coming, at least to the feminine, for maybe because of the loss that she's feeling or suffering. She's going to be restored and made whole in that regard. If she's lost some money or had a delay in waiting for some money that she was due, right, with the 3 of Earth showing that she was due some money, and this is about financial security, maybe there's been a delay or something, or, you know, she's not getting all of it or something like that, maybe coming in piecemeal, but she's going to be restored with the energy of temperance. She'll be made whole. But there may have been, you know, she may have had her hand in it, and the masculine may have had her hand in what's going on with him. The 5 of air tends to be about conflict in which we brought upon ourselves, as far as I'm concerned. And the card says, an unwise choice, learn what you can from this situation, review everyone's motives. The other people's motives, if there's anybody else involved, it tends to be like somebody, peer pressure or, you know, gossip and stuff like that. But you got to ask yourself, like, why did you, you know, go that way? Why did you follow somebody else? Why did you listen? Why did you participate in gossip? Why did you let somebody talk you out of what you wanted or what you felt? You know, and underneath that, I have to show you is yet the other 5. The 5 of Earth. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. So this again can be worry about finances and the material, and, you know, how one will support their family, and maybe concern about loss, doubt that we're going to have enough, or doubt that we do have enough, or that we can manifest, and then being made whole and restored by the feminine. The masculine having some, in his situation or scenario, having some sort of decision to make, and there being very several variables here, or options, or, you know, possibilities and scenarios that he's thinking up in his head. Again, possibly having something to do with something from the past, or a family situation from the past, and feeling a feeling of loss for him too. As it relates to relationships, for me, the 5 of Earth is about fear of commitment sometimes. That could be a decision. And that could be what the hurt is about and why we need to be restored. Not wanting to come together in this very secure, whole family, the 10 of Earth, or being afraid to do that. Think of options. Well, I could go there, or I could be with this other person and start a family with them, you know, that sort of thing. Fear of commitment and fear of abandonment too. And that could come from childhood issues and family issues and things that you went through with your parents. And speaking of your parents, for the emperors underneath there, it could be representative of somebody's father. Does, as far as zodiac signs, represent the signs of Scorpio, which could be what this water is about, as well as Aries. I don't see any fire on the table, but, you know, still could be. And the reason for that is because it represents the planet Mars for me. And again, Mars is a ruler of both of those. Organization and logic, structure and discipline and leadership. The Emperor can also indicate, again, somebody's father, or you being a father figure, an authority, or it can be an actual authority figure, like a legal, some sort of officer or something that is in your life. Whatever's going on, we're also being given the strength to deal with it. This is the energy of Leo. So this is fire, and this is fire. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, exercise some forgiveness and compassion. So that was the last in that direction. Pointing in that direction. And I can stop guessing and we can get more clear this way. It's not guessing, really. It's stuff that comes to me. It's the perfect time to learn all you can. Remember that. So this is, again, the Eight of Earth. Eight of Earth, Eight of Autumn, about taking in information, whether it's through an actual vocation or just life. And opening to yet another 10 of summer. So we have one here, the 10 of water. This is another 10 of water. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family. Okay, not to be inappreciative. I use that exact word. We have this crowning here, and we have this representative of family down at the bottom. Time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations also may be in order on a happy or fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. Eight of Autumn and the Eight of Spring. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for all the blessings that heaven sends you. Eight of Autumn, one more. And it's our second Three of Autumn. Your most satisfying and profitable career or relationship comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. So this could be, for example, connected to the Five of air that we just looked at, and other people butting in and us allowing them to, rather than doing what brings us joy. And it's the Hermit yet again as well. Remember, we have the Hermit here underneath the Ten of Earth. Take time for contemplation and to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment. Our overall energy is the Four of Spring. It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. And the Four of Spring, otherwise known as the Four of Wands, one of the best cards you can get, in a reading. It's about joy and contentment and happiness and peace and joy and commitment and cohabitation and marriage, all of these things. And as I was shuffling, I was thinking about these 5s and 10s because they're bothering me. And what it is saying here is, especially with this 10 at the heart of the matter and the enlightenment as well of the Hermit at the heart of the matter. The going within. This is directing us to not only go within, but when we do that, to realize that the reason it seems like other things are like maybe falling down around us, not working out. All these 5s are showing up. We need healing. We need restoration. We're not whole. We can't, get balanced. It just feels like the same. We keep coming back to the same juncture in life. Nothing's moving forward. Nothing's progressing. But look what's at the heart of the matter. It's like everything is there waiting for us. When it feels like everything's falling down, that's when you can kind of tell that things are about to get real good. Because it's just like everything's going wrong. And then boom, at the heart of the matter, the heart of your situation, you have something really awesome waiting for you. That's what just came through as I was shuffling the cards. That's what the overall meaning for this. But let's further clarify. The 5s and 10s are both indicative of like a change in energy that's necessary and coming. And also having just seen that 8 of Wands, which means like things are going on behind the scenes. We've seen the moon, we've seen the sun. So things are, have been going on that maybe that the universe hadn't revealed to us yet, but some of it is still to come. And now 2 hermits, it's like enlightenment is coming. We're going to get it. We're finally going to get it. And we should be able to see. Now I can see. It's all illuminated. This is the blessing. I almost missed it because everything was falling down around me. So I think that's the focus we're being drawn back to. Atop the 6 of water, it's the Magician. And I believe I talked about manifesting the masculine manifesting. Well, this would be him doing that. There is magic in the air. You can manifest everything that you need to be successful. The Magician tends to represent the sign of Gemini for me, but it also can be like one of the other mutable signs, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. But yeah, mostly Gemini because Gemini is that, that dual nature. So it's like all the mutable signs can pick up the traits of any of the other signs. And then like Gemini is like to the second power. In addition to that, the Magician can be somebody that's imbalanced right now. And I think that may be the case for some of the masculine. It may be taking on that meaning this week. Atop the 2 of air and this decision, if you don't make the decision, it's going to be made for you. Something's still going to go down. This is life experience or major arcana card number 16, the Tower. Yet again, it's our second time seeing the Tower. Important changes are coming into your life. You will be required to take action. Don't hesitate to move in new directions that you know are right for you. So whereas I called this a card of non-action, I said this is somebody that's not doing anything, not making a decision, not moving, hoping that their bills will disappear if they don't open them and pay them. You're going to be required to take action. Some energy is going to come in very quickly that's going to cause you to take action and likely make a decision in some regard. Yep. Top. The 7 of water, which can be about decision, a complex one at that, complex decision that needs to be made. Stop procrastinating. Do your research if you feel like you need to do research. Is the 4 of winter, which can also be about making a decision. So you got 3 cards here directing you, masculine, to make a decision. And you've got the Magician here saying whatever it is that you need to decide and whatever it is you need to do and accomplish, you can. You have the tools or the wherewithal, to bring about whatever change you need to make in your life. Thoroughly think things through, though, before you make that decision. Continuing to overanalyze, however, isn't going to get you anywhere, any closer to a resolution. Meditation, however, and prayer may or will, it says here, bring you the answers you seek. Now, as far as I'm concerned, meditation, prayer, intention, using the law of attraction, all the same thing. So whatever you want to call it, you believe in God, you don't believe in God, you want to, do it with your hands folded like this, you want to do it while you're sitting in an Indian style, so to speak, you want to be laid out on a couch like the guy in the 4 of winter in the traditional tarot, whatever you feel you need to do. Atop balance, which again represents the sign of Sagittarius. Balance, which is temperance, all about being healed and restored, represents the sign of Sagittarius. And the planet Jupiter is the ace of spring, which can also represent the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, as well as Leo, Aries, again, maybe even Scorpio. A wonderful new opportunity, feminine, is presenting itself to you. It may come as a surprise, but you'll still want to leap into action and to passionately pursue every possibility. Atop the Queen of Air and crossing the 5 of summer is the 4 of summer. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. So because you're so busy, that could be one of the reasons why you're being sort of inappreciative. In that case, it would be more like being oblivious than consciously inappreciative and, just ungrateful for what you do have and the blessing that you do have. You're just so busy that you're not even paying attention you're not stopping to smell the roses, as they say. More ambulances, maybe attached to the temperance card again in the healing. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. Atop the 3 of Earth. Very interesting. It's the Lovers. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. Well, I just read a few moments ago a 3 of Earth, and it said your most fabulous career or relationship comes from choosing from your heart what you want, your path, and not listening to others. So that may come up for you, feminine. You have to decide what it is or who it is you love and go after that. And that may be what this opportunity is. It may not be, a relationship. It may be a job. But it's something about that you're going to fall in love with. Okay, that's what it is. Something or someone you're going to fall in love with, that you're going to be extremely passionate about, that you want to be sure not to miss. Keep your eyes open to what's around you. Sometimes we miss, when it is a relationship, like we miss certain people. We don't realize that, somebody that's very close to us, maybe a close friend that we think is only platonic. We don't realize that they have a crush on us or something. That can be a new opportunity for love, particularly for some, singles out there that may be listening. Those type of situations. Something or someone about which you are passionate coming your way, and it is going to be for you to be honest with yourself. Go within and be honest with yourself. You know what? I've had a crush on her too my whole life. I've had a crush on him too. And, if I didn't go after this chance to be in a relationship with them, my BFF or whatever it is, I may be regretful later because that's what I want. So don't let somebody else talk you out of it or make you think that's crazy. And don't let, societal norms and conforming talk you out of it either. Crowning atop this 5 of Water is another balance or temperance card. It's another 5. Okay, remember we have the temperance right here. It is right here now too. By merging varying points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. So compromise with others rather than focusing on loss. Let's look at the positive and what we have and what we're going to have going forward together, if we can accomplish that. Again, balance or temperance represents the sign of Sagittarius or perhaps other fire sign. And it is about being restored, being made whole. 2 things coming together to make a whole. The black and the white, figuring out a way to merge and exist together. So again, even if it's a relationship with somebody that you wouldn't have normally considered, for example, figuring out a way to come together, even if it wasn't something that you otherwise would have imagined. They're short and you're tall, they're black, you're white, like the zebra. One is a Muslim, one is a Jew, whatever it is. At the root, atop the 10 of Water, is the 6 of Spring. So victory in this area brought on perhaps by Jupiter and or the energy of Sagittarius, that young and youthful Cupid like energy, right? Sagittarius, the archer, shooting the bow at you, the bows and arrows. You may receive a promotion. Be chosen for a scholarship. I talked about promotion. I said the 3 of Earth is about promotion, being raised, whether that is literal or metaphorical, right? Or with regard to ascension. So here it's saying, yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. You could be chosen for a scholarship too. You could be going to school with the Hermit showing up, with the Hierophant having shown up. You've done an amazing job and you deserve all the attention. Whatever the accolades are, you deserve it. You've earned it. At the heart of the matter, atop the 10 of earth and the hermit, is yet another queen of winter. She sits here and she sits here. All your experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. The Queen of Winter is experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. So if it is about having to bring in something into her life, she can handle it. If it is about having to remove something or someone from her life, she can handle that too. She is a Libra, a Gemini, like this Magician card, an Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And now she sits here at the heart of the matter, atop our 10 of earth, which is about family and security, and our hermit. So what this is about, ultimately, is, again, going within, deciding what would make you happy, and whether that is to welcome someone to partner with you or to go it alone. You will do it as the Queen of Winter. You'll have that ability to do it. She doesn't mind working with somebody else. You know, she's human, like anybody else. But at the same time, she's extremely, again, self-sufficient, independent, and she can handle, you know, get the job done if she has to let somebody go that she thought was a friend or a family member that, you know, she has to suddenly love from a distance. Instead, she can do that too. And that may have something to do with the decision, masculine, that you have to make. You know, am I cutting someone off? Am I bringing someone in? Or can we compromise and come together? Or do we have to part ways? I also wanted to get some advice with regard to abundance and my abundance, or from my abundance oracle, beginning with God as your source. Everything that you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens a door to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. So that 5 of earth and all that kind of, and this 5 of cups, like we wouldn't be feeling that. We'd be feeling full and, you know, restored. My cup runneth over, right? It's not empty. There is plenty of abundance for all to share. No more complaining. Complaints are affirmations of victimhood. Again, that 5 of water, which is never true spiritually. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. With your increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. God is your source. And clearing away debts. Your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts. That's exactly what's happening here. Okay, removing them from your life. Queen of Winter, again, can do that. Even if it's like familial connections. We don't want to part from our family. We don't want to part from our close friends. But sometimes we have to love people from a distance. And sometimes we can work it out and you know, evolve into a different sort of relationship, or co-create a new kind of relationship by merging various or opposing ideas, as that card said. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing the topic and making a plan to clear present obligations and to avoid future ones as well. God is your source. And raise or promotion. Boom. Congratulations. An increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is as a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. You've got to take action. Keep up the good work. God is your source. Partnership. Allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. That may be the Queen of Winter. This could be somebody that helps to facilitate something in your life this week. Again, maybe direct air sign, a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. The overall energy, I think, is an awesome summation of these cards that are laying here on the deck. Positivity, faith, and optimism. So rather than that energy of 5 or 10, feeling of loss and energy that needs to change, positivity, faith, and optimism. That also speaks to the manifestation and not missing an opportunity. You open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with the path that you're on. Keep the faith and keep going. So even where there is loss, there will be restoration if we keep the faith and keep things positive and continue to draw in the energy of restoration and wholeness and healthfulness from the positive thoughts. So further to that, from the masculine, no more complaining is back for you. Complaints are affirmations of victimhood. Stop with the I'm broke and, I can't do this and I can't do that. And stop speaking positive things over your life. Start thinking positive things over your life as well. Complaints are never actually true spiritually. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedoms. With your increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. You are the magician. You can manifest whatever you need or want. Feminine, moonlighting. Then I say the moon was going to be illuminated. I think that's a play on words. This is about something else. This is about working and being able to juggle. But I think it's something about the enlightenment into which we're going to come as well. A message about that. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon, your dream career will take flight and fully support you. So don't miss or pass up on an opportunity to take a job, a raise, a promotion, because you think that you can't do both. You can't raise your kids and work or, whatever. The universe is telling the feminine, at least this week, that she can do both. She can have a career and be fully supported and start working on another project too. Have a few things going, irons in the fire, and start building toward that. And then ultimately end up doing what it is you're passionate about and not the other thing at all. So if you get an opportunity to work on some sort of project, maybe with a team or something, or a partner, maybe your spiritual career, something that you feel is toward your life purpose, again, something about which you're passionate, don't talk yourself out of it by saying, well, I got to go to work and I got to do this. If you do have all the time to carve out, then you're guided to take the chance this week. Masculine, the Knight of Water, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative is the Knight of Water. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and an invitation to a social event. The Knight of Water is a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and he is somebody who makes proposals of some sort, of something that is going to bring not only him but the other person, happiness and emotional fulfillment, joy. Feminine, the Three of Fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. So it's our second 3 here for the feminine. Can have to do with some sort of party of 3 yet again. Possibly a love triangle, but not necessarily. And to the more positive, it's about abundance coming our way, which we've already seen the evidence of. This comes as part of the new opportunity. It may require some patience. It's been coming steadily, and we have to have continued faith that it will continue to come steadily. We'll get that last stake in the ground to end up with the Four of Wands, which is our overall energy. We got 3 here. We're just waiting for the last one. And the cards say it's coming. And for the masculine from the Animal Tarot, Prince of Winter, decisive. Decisive. This is to help you make that decision you got to make. Driven, impulsive. The Prince of Winter, and when the Knight of Air or Swords shows up, it is indicative again of the need to make a decision. So you guys really got to go into yourselves and figure out what it is you got to do, whatever your situation is, however it relates to you. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. Remember I said some energy was going to come through very fast with this tower and force you to make the decision? The Prince of Winter is seconding that. And last but not least, for feminine. Wow, what a bizarre week this is. I can't wait to see the love reading because the general has... I was going to say it's been all over the place, but the cards have been repeating themselves, so it hasn't really been all over the place. It's been pretty focused, but like focus on several things, like several irons in the fire. Anyway, procrastination and worrying what others will think, feminine, I knew I felt that for us though, is blocking us from making a decision. If you're torn between your desires and someone else's, I've said this already over here, follow your inner guidance. That's why you're being guided to go within. That's why you're being given the energy of the Queen of Winter, because whatever the decision is, you can handle it and you can make it. You have, the strength and the wherewithal, the logic, the wit, the smarts, all that stuff that, you could possibly need to make it without allowing somebody else to come in with their 5 of air energy and trample upon, what you want and what you'd like to choose. I hope that you guys enjoy the weekly reading and you find it helpful. I'll be back with love. Namaste, angels.